going on, everyone? Welcome back to Action Sunday. This week, I'm changing up this week because my original movie that I was going to review, I'm saving it for next week, so that way I can officially close out the summer adventure films, as well as kind of bridge the gaps between that and eventually the eventual beginning of the fall season. So, but anyway, today I want to talk about the Last Crusade. Okay, why is this considered my personal my personal favorite of the franchise, and why I consider it one of my personal favorite movies? So yeah, and of course how perfectly fitting, because later this week, folks, I'm turning 30. Yes, but we're not. I'm going to be turning the big 3-0, so that's all. I'm probably going to save that for a future video later this week. But anyway, let's talk about the Last Crusade. Why do some fans consider this and Raiders to be the better two out of all the Indiana Jones movies? Well, I think it's because they're going after objects of a biblical nature. Think about this: Raiders focused on the Ark of the Covenant and trying to get it from Nazis. Here, it's the greatest prize of them all. I'm talking about the Holy Grail. And of course, I'm going to say this right now. I've been a bit of a fan of the Holy Grail. I've been a fan of the Crusades. Okay. In fact, in college, I did take a whole class talking about the Crusades. Like everything was what kind of strategies and all this great stuff, and possible theories and all this crazy stuff that could go into wow. What was it like back then? But anyway, so how does this fall into Indiana Jones? Well, like I said, he's after the greatest treasure of them all. Yeah, is it the most sought out treasure? Of course it is. It's the foundation of, I would say, all of us, like humanity as well as Christianity and religion in general. And I think that's why people can relate to this as being the best adventure. And of course, let's also factor in the fact, look at the star power on that cover. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Never in my wildest dreams would you ever expect to see James Bond and Han Solo teaming up in a movie like this. That's how I remember them as. But yeah, it's crazy to think about that. And also, Steven Spielberg actually, we're not said that he considers Indiana Jones to be kind of like his James Bond. Just think about it. He's constantly on missions. He's constantly being called into action to find something. So in a sense, Sean Connery was playing James Bond, where he's trying to fight, trying to he's on missions against the notorious Spectre organization, or baddies in general. So yeah, so you got the best of both worlds, and you got a great story, you got a great setting. I really enjoyed that, and that's what makes this the better of the bunch. Now another thing I also liked about this movie is how well as they finally decided to dive into the origins of the character. Like how do you get the scar? How do you get the fedora? How do you get the whip? And of course that opening scene really worked. Okay, with the young Indiana Jones thing, and of course who would think that this little prologue scene would set up for in Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which would come out. I think almost a year or two after this movie came out, which speaks volumes. And I've watched the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and they are very fun. Although I kind of prefer the later years, because you literally watch him as a child, and then with the later on in the Chronicles, he becomes an adult, played by Sean Patrick Flanery. It's just crazy to think about how a lot of great things came in this thing, and just shoots off something incredible, this is it, and all that good stuff. And of course, kind of launching Sean Patrick Flanery's career as I would say the adventurer in the show. And as a side note, if you have never seen the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, you can definitely find them online, buy them off of Amazon. We're not. They were on Netflix at one point, but then of course they pulled somehow Paramount and Netflix kind of broke off. So what the fuck happened there? So I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, anyway, not much else I can say about the movie. Love the settings, love the dialogue. My favorite scene is having having the Indy and his father have reconciliation. Then they have that really fun bickering moment. You didn't bring my diary back, did you? I should mail it to the market first. You should take it easy. Take it easy. Why'd you think I sent it home in the first place? I came here to save you. Oh yeah, who's gonna save you, Junior? I really love that scene. It just goes to show how well those two can play off each other. It's incredible. And yeah, I know I'm kind of recycling what I said in my top 30 countdown. So, yeah, that's pretty much embodies the spirit of this movie. And yes, I still have it on VHS. It's still in perfectly good condition, folks. And I still found all the promotional stuff here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, like all the collectibles and all that. It's just crazy to think about. It's like, oh, wow, I've had this for a long time, and like I never did this, but then again, of course, we're now in the internet age. You can probably find all the Indiana Jones collectibles, like the fedora and the hat, and all the maps and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, I would love to see all that come back to the forefront. But anyway, if you want now, what is my final score for this great classic of the Indiana Jones franchise? I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10 because of how well written it was. The setting is perfect. The cast is good. The only things I knocked on it was some of the cliches that they kind of brought back from the other movies. The dumb villains kind of thing, and also kind of resurrecting the Nazis thing. But of course, then again, perfect battle of good versus evil kind of thing, because the Nazis were trying to rule the world, and of course, hey, Indiana Jones was able to cope with them before, so why not deal with them again? All right, so that does for today. Let me know what you think. Go watch this movie if you've never seen it. If you haven't, where have you been living? All right, that's it for tonight. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome, exciting videos.